One of the things I always struggled with when starting a new venture was so-called analysis paralysis. Would spend weeks, sometimes even months, trying to figure out the right target market before I started anything. And I know some of you may very well be on that same boat. But what if I told you that with AI, you can get those same insights in just a few hours and tear apart the excuse of not knowing enough to start? I'm Fabio, and I've spent over half a decade in the AI business and engineering spaces. And in this video, I will share the exact AI market research prompt that I use. And by the end, if you stick around, I'll show you how you can get access to it. Use it, run it in minutes, and get out of so-called analysis paralysis. So let's get to it, shall we? So here's how I'm going to go about this. First, I'll walk you through the step-by-step prompt itself. Then I'll show you a live demo so that you can know how to use it. And then at the end, I'll give you a bonus tweak that you can apply to this prompt to make it 10 times more actionable. But first, what's wrong with the traditional method of market research? Well, as most of us know, it is pretty slow. It can also be very expensive and outdated because by the time that you get all that data, all that research back, with how fast things are changing nowadays, all that information that you just got access to may very well be useless. And yet, corporations spend hundreds of thousands to sometimes even millions of dollars to get this research report and data. But what about us? What about the little guy? We do not have the time or the resources to allocate into figuring out everything that is going on in our market so that we can know exactly how to position ourselves. And that's why something like AI can be a total game changer for us, because with the right instructions, you can get an entire team of world-class marketing consultants at the press of a button. But here's the thing. AI is only as smart as the instructions that you give it. AI, more often than not, does not give you the wrong answers. You gave it the wrong instructions. And that's where most people go wrong. They type in something vague and the output that you get is generic and useless. So instead, we're going to go through an advanced structured prompt that forces the AI to act the exact way that we want it to, which is to become a senior marketing strategist and deliver a real report. But rather than just tell you, how about I show you? So here is the market research prompt that can turn any AI of your choosing into your own personal marketing consultant. And as you can see, this guy is pretty beefy. And there's a reason for this. When you come up with prompts or systems, as I like to call it, to create such experts that can automate these tasks, you will have to go very much in depth into the level of instruction and context that you give to these experts. And obviously, I've been doing this for quite a while. That's why I'm able to create something this complex, but it can actually get even more complex than this as well. The point is, if you want to create any one of these experts, you will have to do a ton of testing and a ton of experimentation to figure out the right keywords, the right phrases, the right format in order to create one of these systems, one of these experts. And on top of that, you will also have to know at least the fundamentals of what it is that you want these experts to do, which is why I'm much in favor of, if you're going to use AI to automate something, you don't want it to be a complete black box. You want to be able to at least know the fundamentals of what it is that you want to automate. That way, you know what's right and what isn't right, and you can fix it anytime something goes wrong. But I digress. Let's focus on the market research expert. So this is essentially what it is and how massive it is. As you can see, it's pretty beefy, like I said before. And how you use this in the context of doing market research is that you can take this and essentially copy it and paste it into any AI model from any AI that you prefer. And then from there, the AI will sort of take this system and internalize it and then come at you from the perspective of what the system tells it to do and to become. So to demonstrate, let's go ahead and do one example using something like ChatGPT. So when you open any one of these AIs that you prefer, in this case, I'm going with ChatGPT, and you want to use this system, you would copy it as you would any piece of text, and then you would just go to the tab, open a new chat, and paste it. And then you would send it through. And now what you will observe as soon as you paste it through is that the AI will now begin to respond to you in the way the system tells it to. It will take the system and use that to reframe itself to act as the expert that was created from the system. So if you go down, you will see that it has taken on this persona of a digital marketing research expert. And from the instructions placed from the system, it will now begin the process of going through each and every single step of the instructions in order to get us the final result for which it was built for. So in this case, it's going to ask a bunch of interview-esque questions to discover more about us, our needs, our business, whatever it may be. And then it's going to take all that information and search based off our industry and based off our needs, and then compile all that information into a cohesive report that can be used by anybody to reach the goals that they want. So for this example, let's say that we own a supplements brand for something like protein powder, and we're looking to open a new line of protein powder, say protein isolate from New Zealand. Again, you don't need to worry about all the jargon with this. If you're a bodybuilder into fitness, then you would probably know a bunch of this stuff. But let's just say for the purposes of an example, we have a supplements brand that is opening a new line of protein isolate whey from New Zealand. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill all this up so that you don't have to watch all the boring processes that come along with it and then send it down. Okay, so I've gone ahead and answered the first batch of interview questions. And you can go ahead and take a look at the answers if you want. But again, like I said before, we're opening up a new line of protein powder isolate products for our supplement e-commerce brand for athletes and fitness enthusiasts. And I pretty much just answered as if we were a startup in the infancy stage of the business. I guess one of the things that may seem a bit daunting is the fact that there are so many questions. But that is pretty much the point of this, because AI is not a mind reader. It never was, and it probably never will be. So if you wanted to give you tailored, personalized answer for your specific problem, for your specific business, for whatever it is that you're working on, that is just for you and nothing generic, you will have to give it information so that it understands what you're going through and who you are. And that way it can help you in a way that is actually useful. So the question is, would you rather go through the long process of answering questions and get it right the first time? Or would you rather muck around and try and figure out what went wrong for hours on end until you get the right answer. Personally, I know what I would pick. On top of that, you can make these systems more customizable and tailored to you. That way you don't need to put in as much information. The problem is I'm trying to make this useful to as many people as possible. So in my research and in my building and testing of this, I made it as broad and as generalized as possible so that anyone can use it and apply it for their particular needs. And the consequence of that is that you need to put in a lot more information. If it was just made for one specific group or one specific person, then I can just as easily put in all the necessary information about that group, about that person, and you won't have to go through as much depth of questions as you do in this. But again, I'm trying to make it as useful to as many people as possible. Hence why there's a lot of questions. But I digress. Let's keep on going through this demo and see what it comes up with in the end. This is the second stage of the system where it validates the information that we gave it. So the whole point of this is so that we can minimize any hallucinations that the AI may have. So in this sense, it is giving back the information that we gave it. That way we can look through it and confirm whether something is right or something is wrong, whether it made an assumption here, whether it made up something there. And then we confirm or we change or we tweak one thing here or there, and then we send it through and continue on. So just me going through this, you can see that it even gives you the confidence level, how confident it is with the information. And then after that, it goes through its observations, and then it asks you a few follow-up questions just to make sure that it has as much information as possible to give you a perfectly tailored report just for you. So again, like with the last stage, I'm just going to fill these out and then send it through so that you can see the final result. Okay, so we've gone ahead and answered the follow-up questions. And after we send it in, it will then go ahead and begin on its creation of the report. So without further ado, let's send it in and see what it comes up with. And there you have it. Once you send this in, it will give you everything you need in a comprehensive market research report that has the roadmap that you can use to take action as soon as possible. And just going through it briefly, it gives you the analysis parameters, which is the information that it used to create the report in the first place from external sources in the industry, and also the information that you gave it about you. It gives you its confidence level framework. That way you know what it's highly confident in and what it's not confident in. It gives you what assumptions that it made. That way you can know what's right and what's wrong, what needs a bit of tweaking, what doesn't. And then after that, it goes full on into the market research report, starting from the executive summary, going down into the industry analysis, the target market, the competitive landscape, the personas, going all the way down, giving you even a strategic recommendation with an implementation roadmap that you can use to do everything from A to Z for your particular timeline. And that is, in a nutshell, how you use this system for yourself. So go ahead and try it out. And there you have it. You get all the research and all the data all in one using one single structured prompt that turns the AI into your own personal senior marketing consultant. But how can we make this better? Well, here's the bonus tip that I typically use myself. Rather than just use it on one single AI model or AI platform like ChatGPT, run this prompt on multiple models. Go to Claude, go to Gemini, go to Perplexity, go to DeepSeek. Each and every single one of these guys have their own strengths and weaknesses. Like ChatGPT tends to be more structured and polished. Gemini has access to pretty much the entire database of Google. So you get all that real-time data at your fingertips. Then when you're done putting it through all these models, you cross-compare, you combine, you see what things are similar, you see what things are different, you see what insights that you can pick from one that wasn't shown in another. And then you combine all that into one full, complete puzzle. It's like having a whole team of consultants for the price of a single prompt. And the fun part is, you don't have to wait to get started now, because I've taken the liberty of granting you full access to this market research AI expert. All you have to do is go down to the description. So until next time, I'm in your corner and I am rooting for you.